Hi guys, and welcome to the Laundry Chat podcast, a place where we help each other sort out life's laundry. My name is Molly Marco, and today we are going to talk about I always start this and then I never know when I'm going to title the podcast until like after I finish. So I'm not even actually sure what we're going to talk about, but you probably know, maybe. No, I know what we're talking about. We're going to talk about a verse actually. This actually got brought on because I saw a meme. I follow edgy Christian memes on Instagram and also My Jesus Jam. They both have great Christian memes on them. And I came across one that had a picture of people at church, and it said, "Did you ever want to join a book club, but you actually hate reading? Do I have the place for you?" So I just was very convicted because I was like, I'm definitely in the club. I have not read the Bible in forever, literally since I was doing my Instagram Bible study series. And other than that, ever since then, I honestly have not even opened it. It's even a new Bible. I was so excited about this Bible, and I haven't opened it really, honestly, since then, which was months ago, which is sad. Until today. So I think I was about to honestly open a YouTube video. I was about to watch YouTube or something, and I was like, you know what? No, I was just sick of this. I was just sick of this hole that I go into where I just resort to podcasts and YouTube and I don't know, messaging people and looking through stuff. And so I was like, I just grabbed the Bible. It literally was a foot away from me. It's been there the whole time. It's so sad. But I grabbed my Bible and did the classic open up to a random page and see what I find. And I found a chapter in Isaiah, chapter 44, and it was called, let me pull it up so I don't get it wrong. Sorry. It was called Proud to be Called Israel. And for some reason that spoke to me, mainly because you guys would know that I'm not necessarily a person to say that I'm proud of who I am all the time. That wouldn't be a word that I would use with myself. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm proud to be Molly, or I don't know, would you say, I'm proud to be myself? Some days, sure, but that's not a word that comes to mind when I think of myself. I'm not myself, wow, I'm really proud to be me. But there are times, there are times I feel that way. I guess I wish I felt more that way. And I don't know, it just spoke to me because I wish I could be proud. And yes, I don't know if that makes sense. Anyways, so I read the chapter, and I'm going to read a little bit for you here. So if you haven't read the Bible in a while, now you're going to get some of your Bible in. So, and if you aren't a Christian and if you're listening to this, I think this is still, I still think you should listen. So, it says, disclaimer, not disclaimer, but note, when they say Israel, in the verses, put your name in there. Israel is referencing you, I believe. So Israel is you. It says, okay. But for now, dear servant Jacob, listen, okay, we're starting over as per usual. Can't read a Bible verse all the way through without stumbling. Okay. But for now, dear servant Jacob, listen. Yes, you, Israel, my personal choice. God who made you has something to say to you. The God who formed you in the womb wants to help you. Don't be afraid, dear servant Jacob. Jeshurun, the one I choose, for I will pour water on thirsty ground and send streams coursing through the parched earth. I will pour my spirit into your descendants and my blessing on your children. They shall sprout like grass on the prairie, like willows alongside creeks. This one will say, I am God's, and another will go by the name Jacob. That one will write on his hand, God's property, and be proud to be called Israel. So yeah, that's Isaiah 44 through 1 through verse 5. And the part that I liked the most was the end part that said, one will write on his hand God's property and be proud to be called Israel. So I just like that. Obviously, I think it hit for me, for multiple reasons. Let's try to figure them out together. So the first reason why this verse affected me is, like I said, I would not call myself proud to be who I am. There's a lot of things I would fix. There's a lot of things I would change. There's a lot of things I need to work on. So I liked the ending of like, and they will be proud to be called Israel. They will be proud to be who they are. And the other part I liked was I have a tattoo on my wrist. And so I like the part about writing on their hand. I think writing on your hand, I mean, people do it with pens to remember phone numbers. People do it like with tattoos on their wrists. Like if you write something on your hand, you want to remember it. Like something that you write on your hand is something that you want to remember. So what they're wanting to remember in this verse is that they're God's property, that they belong to God. That's something that God is telling them to write on their hand, to never forget, to always remember that they are His, that you are His, that you belong to Him, and I liked that a lot, and I connected with that because I have a tattoo on my wrist. And not even, I mean, you don't have to have a tattoo on your wrist to connect with it, but I've always loved the idea, before I even had a tattoo, of writing things on your hand in remembrance, or just what's that song? It goes like, I'll set you as a seal upon my heart, as a seal upon my arm. Yeah, as a seal upon my arm. It's about like having it written on your heart or written on your arm or something like that. I just love that. I love that something would be so special that you would write it on you, that you would keep it on you, and it would be an outward thing, So I liked that, and I'm gonna pull it up again in my. Oh, is my phone not good? Okay, and I don't know a lot of, theology and a lot of like the meaning behind like Israel and all that, but I think what God is trying to say there is that we're supposed to be proud to be His, regardless of what we do, regardless of how we look, regardless of the mistakes we've made, regardless of the people that we personally have hurt. We should be proud to be His. We should be proud that we belong to Him, and I think that's what it's trying to get at, or that's at least what I took from it, was that no matter how I feel about myself, no matter how I feel about the way I look, or the way that I performed, or my success, or my failures, that I can look at my hand. I can look at my hand and remember what's written there, and and what's written there is that I belong to God, and I can be proud of that no matter what is happening in my life. So I just feel like it's one of those promises that God gives us that just feels so nice. I'm so bad at just scripting words. I'm so sorry. It feels so, I don't want to say comforting again, but it feels comforting. It feels like a calmness. It feels like a peace. And it just is, I just like it a lot. I think in this world where, we're scrolling through things, we're feeling things, we're tweeting things, we're, seeing all this stuff going on and people's opinions changing and the world's ideas of things changing and trends coming and going, to know that like what you have written on your hand is never going to change, and it's where you belong. You belong to God. Like wherever you are, whatever you're doing, however you feel, you belong to God, you belong to Him, and that is something that you can write on your hand. That's something that you'll never regret that tattoo. Not saying if you get it, but in metaphorically, you'll never regret that tattoo. That's not something that will be a constant reminder. That should be a constant reminder to us throughout our days, that you belong. And I think a sense of belonging is what so many people are looking for. Whose are they? Who do they belong to? Where do they fit in? Who will accept them? Who, like, it goes on. Like, we're all looking for this like sense of belonging, and there's no greater place than in the hands of God. So, I think I'm gonna end it there before I go on a tangent or something. But I guess I encourage you to write that on your hand this week. In the truest way, I do want you to write that on your hand this week. Whose do you belong to? I was just actually talking to my mom about my thoughts, because mine are normally pretty pretty mean and crazy, and like we were talking about, like, I mean, my mom, like, and I've heard this before, is like where with your brain you create pathways in the way that you think, literal roads of the ways that you go. So once you think of one thing, your automatic response is this, and we create these divots in our brain of like what we think and how we do things, and when we feel stressed, then we go to this way. And to create a new habit, to create a new path in our brain is super hard. A new thought wave, a new thought path, like, it's so hard to do. But I think writing this on your hand, writing this on the mirror, writing this in your phone, making it a screensaver, that you're God's property, that you belong to Him, is a good way to start turning those bad thoughts in a different direction. I think it just kind of makes you start from square one again and be like, wait, you went way off of, you're way up somewhere in the world, like lost over there. Like, come back to here where, like, you know that you belong here, and this is who you are, and I am proud of you, and you can be proud of that, and this is something that you don't have to work for. You don't have to fight. You don't have to, like, try and, like, I don't know, you don't have to do anything about it. This is who you are. So yes, I encourage you this week to somehow have that written somewhere, written on your hand, so to speak. Whatever that means to you. Because I definitely know I will. I think this is what I'm going to start with. I think for me, you guys know, with my like I'm rolling my eyes and like smirking because, me and my self-image issues or whatever, which I hate so much. I seriously, that's what I was talking to my mom about, actually, is I wish this would go away. I'm not going to start crying. But I wish I could get rid of this. I wish that I didn't have to say that I deal with this, because it's honestly, like, really embarrassing. And I think that's why the word proud stuck out to me, because I feel the opposite of proud. I feel so embarrassed and so ashamed of, like, the way that I think and the way that I am, that, like, it's just, like, proud is not the word I would use. So yeah. So I will be using this I will be writing on my hand this week that I belong to God, and I can be proud of that. So, yeah. I'm gonna go. Thanks you guys for listening to the Laundry Chat podcast. It really does mean a lot. It means a lot more than you know, actually. I don't know, like, this sometimes is like the only, as bad as this sounds, this is like sometimes the only way that I talk to someone is through this podcast. So thank you for listening, and yeah, it just seriously does mean a lot. Message me if you like. I would love to just like talk with you, and to hear from you. So yeah, feel free to talk to me, or whatever you like. I'd love to hear about your laundry too, because you guys get to hear about mine all the time, but I'd love to hear about yours and help you work through it a little bit. And maybe it'll become a podcast episode, who knows? So, yeah. I will go now, finally, and let you be on your way so you can go through whatever laundry you're going through. And yeah, just remember what you have written on your hand as you do it. So, okay. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week on the Laundry Chat podcast. Bye. Oh, that did not stop. Okay. Goodbye.